let's just come into arrive in our yoga studios. Sitting in a comfortable position, you might want to lift. It's good to actually use a block or something like that, or a couple of cushions, just to lift your hips up a little bit. That way it's more comfortable and you can bring your spine up nice and tall. So just arriving in your space, and with each deep breath arrive a little more, softening your eyes and coming into your space. Today we're going to do a nice gentle asana, and that's going to be followed by a meditation. Welcome, Gilda. Nice to see you. Gilda's out in the bush down in the Jarvis Bay or somewhere, so that's nice. We can enjoy her view as well. So we're just coming into our space, feeling the earth below our buttocks and below our feet. Each inhalation, let's imagine we've got some roots coming down from our feet down through the earth. And each time we inhale, we're inhaling and drawing up the energy from the earth up through our spine, all the way up through all the chakra points and out through the top of our crown chakra. And then exhale. Just continue on, breathing in the energy, bringing it all the way up through your spine, through all the chakra points, and out. As you breathe, set your intention for your practice today. I'm going to read you a Rumi quote. We reach home in many ways: music, art, dessert, the forest or the bush, sunrise, solitude. Whatever revives balance is what is essential, and that is home. So maybe you can set your intention on finding that balance, finding that space that helps you to balance yourself and take you home. So the hardest part you've already done today, that's getting here. This next hour or so is for yourself, for your self-love, and to help you balance and find your home. Taking a few more breaths and connecting with the earth. Scanning through your body, noticing how you're feeling. Let's take 3 more breaths. Let's place our right hand on the ground beside us, and inhale as you raise your left hand over your head and leaning over towards the right side, getting a nice stretch down the left hand side of your body. Then inhale to center, and exhale, place your left hand on the mat, stretching through the right side of your body. Just going from side to side. And then coming back to center, placing your right hand behind you and your left hand on your right knee, looking over your right shoulder and giving your body a twist. Taking a few breaths here. On each exhalation, twist a little more, lifting up your spine nice and tall. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then inhale to center and go to the other side. Left hand behind your back, right hand on your left knee, looking over your left shoulder. Just take a few breaths here. Twisting your body. And 1 more breath. And then come back to center, rolling your shoulders. And then back the other way. And then taking some nice big arms. And then back the other way. And moving our neck from side to side. And then chin to chest and looking up. And then we'll come to a tabletop position. I'm loving your background, Gilda, with the beautiful trees behind you. It's gorgeous. Opening up your hands and having your knees underneath your hips. Let's inhale and lift our chest and lift our gaze. And exhale, draw our spine up towards the ceiling or the sky. Let's continue to move, letting your breath initiate the movement. Feeling that lengthening through the spine, opening up all the little gaps in between your vertebrae, stretching it out. Let's move our hands with our fingers pointing out, giving our wrists a little twist, and continue on. You might like to point one hand back towards your body with the fingers stretching a little more, if that's comfortable for you. And then walk your hands back with the fingers facing out. And then take them forward again, coming back onto your, sitting back onto your heels and giving your hands a nice circle. We do a lot of work with our arms, with our phones and our typing. Just give your hands a nice, and wrists a nice up and down movement, stretching all the tendons in your arms. You might like to pull your fingers back a little bit, going from side to side, and then bending your hands down. Coming back to tabletop and just coming a little bit forward and giving your ankles some circles, similar to what we did with your hands. And then let's take our toes under and press up into our first downward dog and walking our heels down towards the mat, stretching out the back of our legs through the lower back, bringing your head in between your arms, stretching out through your shoulders, coming back to your intention for your practice today. Just tuning back into your breath. And then taking your body forward, coming into a plank position and slowly lowering your body down to the mat, placing your hands underneath your shoulders and the tops of your foot facing down on the mat. We're going to inhale and lift up into Cobra, squeezing our buttocks and bringing our shoulders back and down. And then we're going to exhale, bring our forehead down to the mat. And next inhalation, lifting up through the chest again, shoulders back and down, squeezing the buttocks. Let's do a couple more of those. And let's go for one more. And then come back up to tabletop. Take your knees out wide and bring your buttocks down to your heels, walking your hands forward, bringing your forehead down to the mat into child's pose. Opening out your fingers, stretching your fingers, and let's take a few breaths here. It's coming back to your intention and tuning back into your breath. Connecting with your body, feeling the earth underneath your hands and your shins and your feet. Let's draw that earth energy up again. Inhale and draw the energy up through the hands and your feet and your shins. And then exhale, deep exhalation. Let's take 4 more breaths here. And then coming back up to tabletop. Then we're going to tuck our toes under into downward dog. Walk our feet a little wide and walking our hands up. So we're coming to a forward bend. Taking a few breaths here. Letting your head fall heavy. Letting your chest fall heavy. And noticing the stretch down the back of your legs, in your lower back. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then inhale, come up to standing to Samasthiti, and we're going to bring our hands together. Okay, from here, let's just give our hips a little bit of movement. And we're going to go into some warrior poses. So we're going to do some stretching and opening through the hips. So we'll start off with our at the back of the mat with the left foot slightly turned out and step forward, comfortable. Step forward with the right foot. Aligning the right heel should be in line with your left arch. Moving your hips and chest so you're facing forward. So we're going to inhale, lift our arms up into warrior one. Lift our chest and lift our gaze. Really lengthening through the arms. Connecting with that stretch through the left hip. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then take the right hand forward, left hand back, keeping the right knee bent so the right knee is over the top of the ankle. Into warrior two and keeping your eyes forward. Nice strong legs, especially the right leg. And then bringing the left hand forward and taking both hands down towards the mat and bring them up behind your back and then lift your hands up and lift your chest up into humble warrior and straightening out that front leg. Let's take a few breaths here and connect with that deep stretch through the back of the right leg. Let's take 2 more breaths here and then we're going to bring our hands down to frame that front foot. If you have a block, you might like to put it next to your right foot. Place your right hand on the block and lift your left hand up and take your eyes with it into triangle. So really big twist through the top of the body, through the chest and the upper back. Nice stretch through the right leg, especially the inner right leg. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then bring your left hand down to the mat. Inhale, come all the way back up. And we're going to bend our front leg and bring our left hand back towards our left back of our left knee and take the right hand up to the sky. I'm really stretching up through that right hand. Nice. And then bring the right hand back and step back, feet together. Give your legs a little shake. And then we'll go to the other side. So this time we're going to turn our right foot out slightly, step forward with the left foot, align our hips and our chest. Inhale, bring your arms up and bend the left knee, raising your gaze, really lengthening out, taking your hands up towards the sky or towards the ceiling, and feel that stretch through the right hip flexor. Just breathe here for a moment. And then take the left hand forward, right hand back. Take your gaze forward, keeping that left knee bent, lengthening out through the arms, bringing the arms back a little bit, taking the elbows back so you feel a squeeze in the shoulders. Nice strong thigh on the left side. And then bring the right hand forward, straightening out the left leg. Bring the left hand, bring both hands down and clasp them behind your back. Inhale, lift the chest and lift the hands off your back, stretching through the shoulders and the back of the left leg. Just take a few breaths here. And then bring both hands down to the mat. Place your block, if you have one, next to your left foot and place your left hand on it, or just place your left hand on the ground. Inhale, lift up the right arm and take your eyes with it, opening through the chest. Nice big twist through the upper back and through the chest. Really opening up that chest area and the heart area. Taking some nice deep breaths here. Nice stretch through that left leg that's now straight. One more breath here. Then bring the right hand down to the mat. Inhale, lift up. And we're going to take the right hand on the back of the right leg, slide it down towards the knee, lift the left hand up to the sky or the ceiling, bending that left knee and stretching up, really lifting up through that left hand, feeling the stretch through the left side of the body. And then coming back down. Give that a nice shake. Now the next one we're going to do is a little bit more hip opening. So if you have something that you can put underneath your heels, like a bolster or a folded up blanket or whatever you might have, yep, that's great. Put step back so you've got your heels on that surface and having your toes pointing out slightly and about hip width apart. We're going to go into a deep squat. So Penny, you just go to where feels comfortable for you. And then we're going to bring our hands to heart center, use our elbows to push out through the hips a little bit, lifting up the chest and lengthening the spine. Let's take a few breaths here. So we're really opening up through the hips. You might like to soften your eyes here. Let's take about 4 more breaths. And then last breath. And then place your hands in front of you and lengthen out through your legs. You might want to kick away that thing that you were using on your heels, and just folding forward. Let your head fall heavy. Just take a few breaths here. Let's go one more breath. And then inhale, soften your knees a little bit. Bring your hands all the way up and come to heart center with your hands. Let's give your legs a little shake. We're going to go into a balance next. So you might like to place yourself in a position where you can lean up against the wall if you need to. We're going to do tree pose. So we're going to, actually we'll do slightly different. Let's do a little bit of glute opening. So we're going to do a tree variation, opening up the right toes and moving your foot in a little circular to really get a good grip on the ground. And then we're going to pick up the left foot and bring it in front, slight bend in the right leg, and bring your hands up to heart center. So we're going to slightly bend that right knee and bring your chest slightly forward. So you feel a stretch through this ITB and a little bit through the glute. Find your gazing point. And let's take a few breaths here. Just settling down through your body, coming back to your intention for your practice. Sit nice and balanced. One more breath. And then lengthen out through that right leg. Place the left leg on the ground. Give that a shake. And then we'll go to the other side. So opening up the left toes, moving that in a little round direction, feeling those anchor points on the left foot. Find your gazing point to help you with your balance. And then lift up, bending the right knee, taking the shin across the left leg, a slight bend in the left leg. Bring your hands to heart center. And then slightly bend that knee and bring the chest slightly forward till you feel that stretch between your knee and your hip. Let's take a few breaths here. Keep your eyes on that gazing point. Let's go one more breath. Go a little deeper and a little bit more forward, and then come up and give that a shake. Okay, from here, we're going to take our feet out nice and wide on the mat and have the toes pointing forward and feeling the outside edge of your feet. You're going to inhale, lift up, stretch it all the way up to the sky or the ceiling. And then we're going to exhale, slightly bend your knees and take it forward. And then heel toe your feet a little wider. If you have your block there, you might want to bring the block down and bring your head down towards the mat like this. And we're just going to go into this inversion, fingers pointing forward, and you can bring them back so they're almost in line with your feet. The crown of your head is pointing down to the mat. It's a nice inversion. On each exhalation, allow your crown of your head to come a little closer to the floor. And then feeling the earth's energy come up through your feet and your hands. Nice and stable here. Coming back to your intention. And coming back to that Rumi quote. Thinking about what it is that brings you to that balanced state, that home state. Could be art or music or the bush or the sunrise, or even doing a bit of yoga and some breathing. And really breathing that in. Nice big breaths. And then walking your hands slightly forward, lifting your head up and stretching the spine forward. And heel toe your feet a little closer. And then from here, we're going to come down to the mat. So sitting on your buttocks with your feet out in front of you with your knees bent. Lifting your chest up nice and tall, coming up onto your sit bones. And we're going to try our boat pose again that we were doing last week. So you might find this is good enough for you with your chest up tall and your heels on the ground. Or you can bring one foot up. Or you can take both up. So you might have them bent, or you can straighten them out. Like Jorda's doing, well done. Okay, so it's okay to just have your heels on the ground or have one up or both up, whatever works for you. And having your hands beside your legs, chest up nice and tall. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then allow your feet to come back down to the ground. Placing the soles of your feet together and coming up nice and tall through your spine, having your hands on your ankles and letting your knees fall out to the side like a butterfly. From here, let's take our hands to our feet. Just give ourselves a little massage through the feet. It's really nice, a nice little bit of self-love. Just using our fingers to walk down through the arches. Just giving a little bit of massage in the middle of each of those bones on your feet. Just opening your feet out so that it's coming forward, getting that nice stretch through the front of the groin as well. Taking a couple of breaths here. Coming back into your breath. One more breath and then let it go. Coming onto your back. And we're going to come into bridge pose. Just get yourself nice and comfortable on the mat. Hug your knees up to your chest. Just rolling your hips around, getting everything nice and loose in the lower back area. And then placing the feet on the ground and slide the heels towards the buttocks. Then we're going to inhale and lift up through the hips and take our hands up into the air and behind us on the ground behind our head, really lifting up through the hips, squeezing our buttocks, bringing our chest up to our chin. And then as we exhale, slowly lower the spine down, vertebrae by vertebrae, and slide your hands around the side on the floor back to your hips and continue on. So take the next inhalation, come up nice and tall, bring the hands over the top. Pause there, squeeze, and then slowly roll it down. Let's take 2 more. You might need to slide your heels back a little bit more towards the buttocks. And then take your feet out wide so they're on the edge of the mat. And we're going to shuffle both knees to the left. And then inhale to the center and then exhale, take them to the right. Just bringing your hands up onto your tummy, going from side to side, loosening through the hips, noticing the stretch through the hips, through the front of the hips on each side. Just going from side to side. Exhale as you take it to one side. Inhale to the center and exhale to the other. Taking your gaze opposite to where your knees are pointing. And then coming back to center and having both feet on the ground, and then lift up your left leg and bring it in front of the right leg and reach through and bring that bring the shin towards you, bring the left shin towards you. You might want to reach through the gap in between the legs. You might want to reach onto your right leg and just draw that back towards you, feeling that deep stretch through the glutes. Let's take a few breaths here. Just connecting with that deep stretch. This is going to help to loosen off any stiffness you may have in your lower back. And then release the right foot to the ground, but keep the left leg across. Bring your left hand straight out from your left shoulder and the right hand on the left knee, and draw the knee to the right side, looking to the left side. A nice deep stretch through the left side of the body and also the lower back. Using that right hand to draw the left knee towards the ground, wherever's comfortable for you. Just take a few breaths here, connecting with the stretch. One more breath here. Then inhale, bring your knees back to center and release that left foot to the ground and lift up the right leg and cross it over the front of the left leg. And then reaching forward, either to your shin, the right thigh, or right through to the right shin, whatever's comfortable for you, and drawing that right leg towards your chest, feeling that deep stretch through the right side of the hips and glutes. Taking some deep breaths, just relaxing and surrendering to that stretch. Let's go 2 more breaths. And then release your hands, lower the left foot to the ground, right hand straight out from your shoulders on the ground, left hand on your right knee, and draw that right knee to the left side and take your gaze out to the right hand. So you come into another nice big twist and taking some deep breaths. On each exhalation, draw that right knee a little closer to the ground. Try and keep your shoulders on the ground. Get a nice stretch through the front of the chest. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Then inhale back to center. And release the right foot to the ground and hug both knees up to the chest. And you can go around in circles here. If you want, you can reach through to your feet into happy baby. So holding on the outside edge of your feet or onto your ankles and just moving that in whatever direction feels good for you. This is a really good deep stretch for the lower back. Let's just take some breaths here. Feeling that connection with the ground underneath your back. And deep stretch through the inner thighs, lower back. 2 more breaths. And then release your feet and bring your feet down to the ground. And from here, we're going to lift up taking our legs up in the air. So you might like to go with your legs up against a bed or a wall. You can put something behind your lower back and have a supported leg raise, or you can go up into a half shoulder stand or a shoulder stand. If you're in the shoulder stand, bring your elbows a little closer together. Let's take some nice deep breaths. Just moving our ankles in a circular direction. Go one way and back the other. You might like to take your feet out nice and wide. And then bring the soles of your feet together, knees out like a butterfly. If you're in the shoulder stand, you might like to take your feet over your head towards the floor behind you into plow pose. Let's take 5 more breaths. And on the next inhalation, slowly lower your body back to the mat. Bring your spine down to the mat. And then come into Savasana. So you might like to put a bolster underneath your knees to protect your lower back. Getting yourself really nice and comfortable. If you have an eye pillow, you might like to use that. And we're going to have a nice little meditation. So getting yourself nice and comfortable. Gently close your eyes and settle into your body. Just taking a moment to adjust your posture. See if you can make yourself a little more comfortable. Now, in your own way, take a few moments to relax your body. Take 3 slow, deep, conscious breaths. And as you breathe out, feel your muscles softening and loosening, relaxing. Allow your breath to find its own depth and rhythm now. To just breathe itself. Become aware of the space before your closed eyes. Perhaps there are some muted shapes or colors. Just simply resting your attention there. With relaxed eyes and a soft gaze. Bring your attention to any sounds coming to you from outside. Or inside. Just simply listening with gentle curiosity. Allow the sounds to call your attention into the present moment, just listening. As you bring your awareness to your breath, notice the feeling of the breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Feel the air moving over your nostrils. Feel the slight movement of your chest and your belly, rising with the in-breath and sinking with the out-breath. Perhaps there's even a sound with your breathing, just your natural breathing. Next, bring your awareness down to your feet. Move your awareness through your feet. Notice any sensations in your feet. Just feel them, feeling into your toes, your heels, the surface of your feet, all through your feet. And as you feel your feet, feel the flow of your breath, simply coming and going, just watching quite effortlessly. Now bring your attention to your hands. Rest your attention on your hands. Notice the supple sense of aliveness through your hands. Explore all the small sensations around and through your hands. Now bring your awareness to your shoulders. Notice the feeling in the muscles of your shoulders, the base of your neck, a pressure or a tingling. Just feel it, simply noticing. And as you feel into the muscles of your shoulders, feel the flow of your breath, simply being aware of the breath. Now, as you're aware of the space between and before your eyes, become aware of any sensations in and around your eyes. Move your attention through your eyebrows and across your forehead. Notice whatever sensations are there. As you feel through the eyes and across the forehead, feel the flow of your breath, just resting in the awareness. Now, with a willingness to get in touch with how you are feeling inside, bring your awareness to your center, the feeling line of the body, feeling into the throat, feeling into the center of the chest, and feeling into the belly. Resting your attention along the whole feeling line of your being. Keep the feelings company with curiosity and compassion, just simply being aware as you notice the feelings in your center. Feel the flow of your breathing. Open your awareness to your whole body. Notice whatever sensations are coming into your awareness at this particular moment. Perhaps the awareness of the space in front of your eyes. Perhaps the feeling of your breath. If any thoughts come to your awareness, just let them come and go. Watch the thoughts coming and going. And notice the background of stillness, the background across which the thoughts travel. Just noticing whatever comes and goes. just noticing, being aware of that still and silent presence, simply resting in that silence. If you notice your attention wandering or becoming caught up in a stream of thought, simply bring your attention back to your next breath, being aware of the feeling of the breath again and noticing the sounds, your feet resting on the earth, the feeling line through your center as you rest your attention in the space in front of the eyes. Now, as we come towards the end of this meditation, allow your breathing to become a little stronger, perhaps a little deeper. Taking a big deep breath, start to reactivate your body by moving your fingers and toes. Have a stretch, and when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Coming back to a comfortable seated position. And let's bring our hands to heart center and up to our forehead for kind thoughts, to our lips for kind words, and to our heart for a kind heart. Namaste. Thank you for being here today in your beautiful yoga practice.